Werner Herzog. That's his name, Werner Herzog. I never want to go through not remembering that guy's name again. Werner Herzog. All right, another day, another podcast. I'm doing something different. I'm trying to record perhaps 2 podcasts on Sundays and then time them to release on Monday and Thursday. So that way I'm not late. And that way the quality content that you've come to expect from me, Joshua Adam Snyder, Hebrew name Shemuel Yussel. Joshua Adam Snyder, a.k.a. Shemuel Yussel. The quality content you expect will be delivered on time at midnight, Monday, and midnight, Thursday. I was just taking a drink of Ethos water, which I got from Starbucks. And then I think it says for every, what does it say? For every bottle of Ethos water you buy, I'm reading this backwards, by the way. I don't want you to think that, because there's a sticker that's covering the front part. That's why it sounds like I'm sounding it out, like I'm just learning to read. Not, by the way, that I mean to mock people who have trouble reading. That is not my intent. That is not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to say that at all. Do not take that. Please do not quote me. I'm not going to get hired for SNL now. Fantastic. That is to say, I do not condone what was said by people who don't get hired on SNL either. I'm not saying I support that one way or the other. I'm just paranoid. I'm paranoid and narcissistic. Not only could that be the name of this podcast, that could be the theme song. I'm paranoid and narcissistic. I'm paranoid and narcissistic. All right. So for every bottle of Ethos water you buy, Starbucks will donate $5 to support humanitarian programs providing clean water to those in need. All right. Kind of vague. Here's my problem with that now that I think about it. I think everyone on Earth needs clean water, and no one on Earth is really stepping up to stop climate change. So maybe it should be more than $5. Perhaps it should be everything. Perhaps Starbucks is going to have to donate all of Starbucks to make sure that we have clean water. I don't know for sure. I don't want to say. Now, I will point this out, though. I happen to have 2 bottles of Ethos water. One had the sticker covering that description. The other one did not. And I did not notice until I finished struggling to read the other description backwards that I had that other bottle of Ethos, that I could have easily read it forwards without having to deal with the sticker. And that right there is a perfect metaphor for how I live my life, which is somehow I got mostly straight A's, but that doesn't seem to be translating into surviving the real world, basically, is where it's at right now. How I am feeling at this point. I'm staring at well, I got to be honest with you, I'm staring at a penis right now. It was something that my boss got me when she was at Costa Rica. It is a phallic-looking keychain, and it is a penis. It is a wooden penis. Somebody, I would assume, whittled this and then painted it, and it says Costa Rica on it. And I'm not sure what. I mean, I can't use this as a keychain. I suppose I could, but there are places I couldn't go with this, and places that I would not want people. I wouldn't. There would be questions that would be asked, and I don't particularly feel like answering those questions. But I do have it on my desk. A small Costa Rica penis. I don't think this is a reflection of the penises in Costa Rica. I think this was just an attempt by someone to express themselves, beautifully, I might add, that is now on my desk. So that's nice. That's good. It is on the smaller side, and unfortunately, approximately the same size as mine. So that's good. That's just what we need. Just what we need. I am tired. I've been going for walks every day, walking at least 2 miles a day, starting to feel this tightness in my chest, which I'm terrified is a heart attack, but is probably either mild asthma or some kind of a panic attack. Or it is a heart attack, and this may be the last podcast you ever hear of me. I'm sure you'll hear other podcasts. Other people will come along and record podcasts with absolutely no format and very little pre-preparation. What's pre-preparation? Preparing for the preparation? There's no preparation for this. Very little. I mean, I did a little bit of writing this morning, and some of that might matriculate, is that the right word, into this podcast? Some of it might not. Can you believe it's been 6 minutes of this? Oh my God. My God in heaven, 6 minutes of this. So, I watched Mission to Mars last night. I've had the urge to watch that. First of all, directed by Brian De Palma, so very good camera work. It's about a mission to Mars. And the crux of it is that Mars, there were aliens on Mars, and they had to abandon Mars millions of years ago. And as they were leaving for another galaxy, they seeded Earth with their DNA. And that is why we are here, because of ancient Martians, which I feel like is at the core of a lot of science fiction movies. This is a common science fiction movie trope. Ancient aliens came to Earth and created us. And I can understand that argument. I can see that. I can see why people would think that. Because, I mean, we're idiots. We really are. So I guess it's hard to believe that we are responsible for what we are doing. But on the other hand, I would argue that these ancient aliens, if they did create us, if they did plant the seeds for us, then, how smart were they? And I've said this before, I will say it again. Look at the male genitalia on the human being. How is that designed? How is that something that was not the result of millions of years of clumsy evolution? Follow-up question, or follow-up observation. If these genitalia are the best possible method of evolution, think of the things that did not survive evolution. Think of what natural selection destroyed. What were people packing back in the day that didn't make the cut genetically? I shudder to think, well, there were some species, their testicles were on the balls of their feet, and for some reason they couldn't walk. It's too painful. That didn't work. They died out very quickly. One thing that Mission to Mars features is, let's talk about the spaceship in Mission to Mars, which was, they tried to be fairly accurate, although they had a spinny part on the spaceship. The idea was that part of it spun so that it created gravity in part of the ship. And I've read that it would be very difficult for a ship to maneuver with that because the spinning would, I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the spinning, the ship would constantly have to course correct because the spinning would cause the ship to spin off its course slightly. So it may not be the most efficient way and I think it would cause severe nausea in the people who were in it. And it doesn't look like it just doesn't look very safe to me, part of the ship just spinning. I see a lot more that can go wrong I mean, there are 9 billion things that could go wrong with a spaceship, and now on top of it, part of it spins. Great. Even more can go wrong. Mars, people. Mission to Mars. My other big complaint with that movie is that when they finally show the alien at the end, the mistake was they showed the alien at the end. And the alien at the end was wearing what appeared to be a towel. You know that towel thing that women make when they get out of the shower? That constructed towel thing? That's what the alien looked like. The alien looked like it just got out of the shower. And it wasn't even the real alien. It was a projection of an alien, a hologram, if you will, of an alien. And my question is, get dressed first before you tape the hologram of yourself. Obviously, a computer-generated alien with lips, with red, pouty lips. That looked kind of like a computer-generated alien that just got out of the shower. That's what it looked like to me. I think it's better in these movies, especially when you're trying to establish mystery. Like 2001, we never see the aliens. We don't know what they look like. We only know they had the monolith. They built the monolith, maybe. Or if they are the monolith, we don't understand it. There's mystery. We're open to the imagination. When you show the aliens, it's over. When you show the aliens, it's a different kind of Star Trek film. This was not, by the way, a Star Trek film. This was a Brian De Palma film. I don't know. I think it was a script that he inherited. If he had written the script, I think one of the characters on the mission would have been a cross-dressing killer. That is a cheap shot to Brian De Palma, who I think is a fantastic director. And I wish he would still direct. I think that was the last big studio movie he directed, and then everything he's done afterwards has been very small. But I'm a huge Brian De Palma fan. I love what he does with the camera work. I love his movies. So I will watch Mission to Mars several times. I will probably watch it again. Good movie. I think that I didn't realize it until I started to watch it, but that was also the last movie that I saw with my high school friends before I went off to college. And I think there's a part of me I'm trying to, I feel lost right now because I feel like I'm basically, ever since I moved out to California, I've always had a plan, or I've always said, these are my goals, this is what I want to do, and I write out my goals at the beginning of the year, and then I try to go for my goals, and then either I don't go for them, or I give up halfway through, and it's just been awful. It's been awful and hellish. And so what I'm trying to do now is not have any goals, just do stand-up via Zoom, which is the only thing I can do right now, and let go and stop trying to have any other goals other than doing stand-up in any form that I can do it, or making little TikTok videos, which are just 1-minute stand-up routines. And put that out there and do 3 a day and do the open mics every day and do shows, produce more shows, and just focus on that. And let go of where is that leading to, and stop worrying about how many followers do I have. Just be present. Just be present and be in the moment. And I hate every minute of it. This moment sucks. I picked a great time to be in the moment. I should have been in the moment in the 90s. That was a great time to be in the moment. when America genuinely thought that it would always be at the top of the food chain. The sound you hear in the background is me rocking in my chair. I rock back and forth a lot because I'm a nervous person. And I've decided I don't want to hide it anymore. I don't want to apologize for it anymore. People have said to me when I'm rocking, hey, can you stop that? You're making me nervous. And why can't I say, well, hey, why don't you do more to make me calm? I mean, if you were really, really that calm, I'd probably stop rocking. And by the way, it's not that I am making you nervous. You are allowing yourself to be made nervous by me. So really, you shouldn't be getting mad at me. You should be getting mad at yourself. You need to work on yourself. I'm helping you. I am helping you see the truth, that you are nervous, that you are the one with the problem. You should be thanking and paying me to help you. I am, in this moment, your Buddha. You're welcome. You're welcome. Where do I go from here? What do I talk about now? What do I discuss now? Well, here's the other weird thing that's happening is that my goal is to record a new album every year, whether it's live or in Zoom. And I just recorded one and will hopefully be releasing it soon. And I'm trying to divide everything I do between, okay, that's going to go on the album, and then that I can throw that into TikTok, and then I'll put this in the podcast. And so there are things that I don't want to say now because I want to work that out and then put it in the album. The one thing I know that I don't want to put in the album is the explanation that I'm giving you now about what goes in the album and what doesn't go in the album, which means maybe it should go in the album. I don't have the answers to these questions. I don't. Okay, we're getting close to the 20-minute mark. I like doing a 20-minute podcast. I like it. It's just a 20-minute thing. Little 20 minutes, just checking in. Pandemic is still a nightmare in Los Angeles. Not much we can do. We're hunkering down. We just have to hunker down while this thing rages. I have the urge. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. But part of me has the urge to see Aurora, Colorado in the summer. That's how depressed I am. I never thought I would say that. I have not historically missed Colorado. But things in LA right now are just so horrible. I think what specifically I miss is in the plains, the Front Range of Denver in the summer, the quality of the sunlight and the feeling of wide open spaces. I don't feel that because I spend, I'm either in my apartment or I'm in my tiny office or I go out for a walk. And even when I go out for a walk, I still somehow don't feel as free and open. And I think it's something to do with living on the Front Range. The mountains were always to the west. And so it always created a context. And it just seemed like there was a lot of space. And you could see really, really far, at certain places you could see very, very far out. And in LA, everything is flat. So it's harder to get my bearings. And I feel very low. I feel lower. In Colorado, I felt higher. And so maybe the fact that I feel discombobulated physically and emotionally is doing that. Now, I want to qualify that by saying I honestly would rather live in Los Angeles than live anywhere else. And my fear is that by just admitting this, God will go, well, send him to Colorado forever. And that's how I assume the universe works. So I'm asking God, please, I would like to stay in California. Would like to stay in Los Angeles. At some point, where I'd really want to go, I want to go on the west side. In an ideal world, I don't know how I'll get to this point, but I would have to be a bazillionaire to do this, but live closer to the beach. Not on the beach. I'm afraid of tsunamis, but, I'd want enough of a buffer of $1 million homes in between me and the giant tidal wave. That's what I'm looking for. I've now opened my second bottle of Ethos water that I can read much more easily. And that is where I will leave you on this JoshCast podcast.